What is the world's most evil company and why? I am a little biased since I just saw Dark Waters, but DuPont. Most fast fashion brands. Child labor. Wasting horrible amount of water while polluting it. Burning or throwing the unsold clothes into the ocean, etc. Purdue Pharma. OxyContin is still killing people. But hey. Bonuses for selling by the milligram. Evil. Chiquita Bananas. I'm not sure if they're that evil currently, but they have a really bad history of killing protesting workers, starting wars and supporting terrorist organizations. https en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/chiquita_brands_international. https www.reuters.com/investigates/special-report/Johnson & Johnson-cancer/ J&J knew for decades that asbestos lurked in its baby powder. Edit. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/dopesick_. Miniseries. Dopesick focuses on the epicenter of America's struggle with opioid addiction, across the U.S. 3. And specifically the drug OxyContin. Good 8 EP series about on of the most evil company. I checked some of the stuff they did because it was unreal to me. I was just naive. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Purdue_Pharma company that was owned by the Sackler family. The three credit bureaus. TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Your ability to get loans for cars, houses, etc. depends on your credit history they collect. But they are notorious for having mistakes, as a result of fraud or otherwise. And customer service that's so terrible that it is sometimes impossible to correct mistakes in your credit history record. Plus, in 2017, Equifax had the personal information data breach that included social security numbers and is the reason it's recommended that you get your credit history frozen. Now, if you want to apply for a loan, you have to go through the hassle of unfreezing your credit history first at all three credit bureaus. At one time, they charged you to do this. I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard that each company has stakes in the other two. So, they are basically trying to financially benefit from the data breach. I don't use the word hate very much. But, edit. Thanks for all the invites everyone. I wanted to clarify. It seems a common misconception. When I refer to freezing, I'm referring to your credit history, not your score. Your history continues to build, and your score continues to change accordingly as you pay or not pay your bills, apply for credit cards and loans, regardless of whether it's frozen or not. When your history is frozen, nobody, including you, can use it to apply for a loan, mortgage, or a credit card. These are called hard pulls of your credit score, which can negatively affect your score when performed, especially multiple times in a short time period. Lenders find it to be risky behavior, so the bureaus dock your score. Soft pulls off your credit score, like when you check your score on a website or app, don't affect your credit score. I'm not a financial professional, so make sure to take my words for what they are. But I recommend that everyone freeze their credit history at all three bureaus ASAP. That way nobody can use your personal info to apply for things that can affect your credit score. Then, thaw it only during the time period people need to do hard pulls from it. Then freeze it again. This all can be done online, if you're lucky. But we are all at the mercy of three for-profit companies to care for our precious credit history and personal information, and they have done an awful job at it this far, impacting people's lives in terrible ways, as commentators have made it clear. What just screams, this movie is gonna suck. A sequel with none of the original actors except for that one guy's dad. In the 80s and 90s there was a trend where if there were no positive reviews for a movie, the commercial for the film would be people coming out of a screening raving about how hilarious, exciting, scary the movie was. That marketing trend is done, but at the time that was a guarantee that the movie was a real stinkburger. Endless ads that give most of the story away. When the commercials all feature one or two word reviews, like dazzling, spectacular, or epic. When it's a comedy and the trailer isn't even funny, like they couldn't even find 15 seconds of humor in their movie. Positive quotes from random Twitter users. Libertarians of Reddit. How did you react to Indiana Jones treading on snakes in Raiders of the Lost Ark? Indiana was living free so he wouldn't die. Those snakes were asking for it. They should have been holding a sign saying "Don't tread on me," with an arrow pointing to themselves. I misread the title as librarians and had me thinking, wait, what? Edit. Y'all replies crack me up. Tears of joy. Indiana Jones did make his own road by spraying the snakes with petrol and lighting them on fire. Instead of relying on the Egyptian government or Nazi occupiers to do it for him. Indy bootstrapped himself through that situation. He also didn't wait for bureaucratic paperwork and permits to be filed before digging into the temple complex. Broke my heart. Don't step on Sneck. Also LMAO, thanks for a legit funny question for once on this sub. Edited for autocorrect spelling errors. What movie scene can go fuck itself? Deliverance. The squeal like a piggy scene. I could have lived my whole life never seeing that. Casino. Where Joe Pesci and his brother get beaten and buried alive. I saw this when I was like 10 and it fucked me up. The scene. https u2.be/2ad6vpflhe. From The Pianist, when the Nazis tip the old Jewish man in a wheelchair off the balcony. Because he is unable to stand up when commanded. All of The Human Centipede. I regretted watching it. Then I found out there were sequels. I had a morbid curiosity. I saw the second one. I learned my lesson. I still have some curiosity about the third one. I will not watch it. Misery. Hobbling. The scene in Requiem for a Dream where his arm is all infected from shooting up. And he injects directly into the center of the pus-filled infection. Vomit-worthy. Edit. Scene. Not scenes. Though there are a bunch of scenes from this movie that qualify. Serious. Police. Security guards. Paramedics, etc. Have you ever been called out only to realize it was a seemingly paranormal incident? What happened? Attention. Serious. Tag notice. Asterisk. Jokes. Puns. And off-topic comments are not permitted. https www.reddit.com/r/askreddit/wiki/index-wiki_rule_6- in asterisk any asterisk comment. Parent or child. Asterisk parent comments that aren't from the target group will be removed. Along with their child replies. Asterisk report comments that violate these rules. Posts that have few relevant answers within the first hour. And posts that are not appropriate for the serious tag will be removed. Consider doing an AMA request instead. Thanks for your cooperation and enjoy the discussion. I am a bot. And this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message, compose, to equals, r, AskReddit. If you have any questions or concerns. Unarmed security for a residential building here. This is extremely tame compared to some of the other stories here, but this is a pretty salient. Subject. And I have evidence. My site has a rooftop pool and it's really one of the only major things the management gets anal about when it's supposed to be closed. On a chilly night not too long ago I was posted up in the rooftop stairwell staying warm when I hear a crescendoing fit of laughter that goes to the point where the laugher is gasping and choking. Kind of weird. But not a big deal considering that people throw parties and whatnot all the time and I could tell it wasn't close enough to be someone horsing around in the pool. Then I just start hearing a bunch of shrieking. And the source of the noise is moving around. At this point I step out. And I realize it's coming from the rooftop itself. Locked up and only accessible by non-security by scaling a concrete wall. The noise stops and I try to start zeroing from where exactly on this dark, slippery, cold-ass roof the noises were coming from. Then I see some footprints. https www.reddit.com/r/securityguard/comments/qtl1d2/you_the_what_r_u/. UTM_source equals share and UTM_medium equals iOS_app and UTM_name equals iOS_SMF. On the roof that were not there before. Barefoot prints with no heel print. Tiptoeing. Footprints that are dirtier than the surface of the roof itself. Noped my way right back inside because it was an hour before clock out. I'd much rather have something paranormal than a meth head on the roof running around with no shoes. Why you lol, you might not believe me, but at Universal Studios Hollywood the lower lot we use golf carts or Ford Explorers to patrol. There is a golf cart that drives itself at night. We have the number of the cart on camera and I shit you not it's been no operational for over 6 years. Someone wrecked it on lot. Thing drives around Jaw Lake and residential area at night. Scary shit as I patrol up there a lot for my swing shift. Never seen it but cameras catch it zooming past use when we are driving lol. I was a caregiver in a retirement home for 6 months at the beginning of the pandemic. We had one patient. Let's call them Robert. That was mute so when they called us because they needed something, of course we would just hang up and go to their rooms. I had been on vacation for a week and my co-workers and I didn't had the chance to go over what had happened while I was away. We had 24 patients for 2 caregivers so we would split the unit in half. 12 residents for each caregiver and we would help the other if needed. So, the first shift after my vacation, I was taking care of Robert's unit. Few minutes after I arrived, I got a call from Robert's room. So, I hang up, finish with my current patient and calmly walk to the room. When I arrived, the door was locked, which was really unusual since Robert usually leaves the door open. I knock, unlock the door and open it. To my surprise, the room was pitch black except the television that was turned on. It took me a few minutes to realize that Roberts wasn't in the room. So, I called my coworker and asked, "Have you seen Roberts?" And that's when they told me, "Oh, yeah, he passed away 2 days ago." Alright. Weird, but not the first time that our system glitches like that and we get a phone call in empty room. I go on with my shift. Like nothing happened. I had left the door open. When I was helping another patient walk to the kitchen. When we passed Robert's room, they said, "Hi Robert. I thought you were at the hospital. Welcome back." I was 100% convinced that the room was haunted now. We would get a call from that room a few times a week until Roberts was buried and after that, nothing else happened in that room. We've also had another patient calling us because there was Mike sitting in his chair every night. Mike was the name of the patient that passed away in that room. They had never met. Graveyard shift security at a hotel casino. We got called to the top floor of the hotel because people from the floor below were calling in noise complaints. I was the FNG, so I had a trainer with me when we went up. Dispatch told us over the radio that there was nobody registered on that floor. So cool. Just a few idiots being idiots. We got up there and every single door on the entire floor was wide open. Anyone who has been to these hotels knows that you can't just accidentally leave the doors open. Because they close by themselves. They weren't propped open or anything. Just open. We asked dispatch if engineering was doing any work up here or had anything going on during the day. After a few minutes they told us they called engineering and they said no. We just noped out at that point and said there was nobody up there. Former paramedic of 15 years here. I never experienced anything paranormal per se, but I will say when you walk into a room where someone has recently been murdered or committed suicide by violent methods, there is a feeling in the room hard to describe. It's like the air is heavy, thick with malice. You can feel that something is not right. It's probably just my brain subconsciously telling me to get out of there. Evolutionarily speaking. But it's the only thing I've ever felt out of the ordinary. I think it's entirely possible we leave something behind when we die. I mean, your personality and consciousness are just a series of electrical signals. Right? That's a real thing.
Subscribe, my brothers.